Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different tabletop board game every single day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the weekdays and give my honest thoughts on how it's being ran. And today, I'm very excited to be checking out the 43rd most popular game, tabletop game, on all of Kickstarter right now. That is Rise of the Gnomes, a challenging tabletop game with unique player races, 7 levels of blank. So first thing I see, so I'm looking here, and it's got a gnome, and what's that in the background? Is that a dragon? It's a castle. What I'm getting at is here, it's kind of a little bit difficult to see what's going on in the background, so I don't know if that's the image that's really going to draw people in the most, because you do have to realize, you know, when they get to you, you're just number 43. You know, so if you don't wow them, I'm worried they're not going to stick around. So I like to see price on here, player count, anything there, because right now, a challenging tabletop game. I know it's a tabletop game. I'm assuming it's a tabletop game. What does challenging mean? Does that mean it's an in-depth game? Does it mean it's a complex game? What does challenging mean? With unique player races, that excites me. 7 levels of difficulty and 4 different ways to play. I feel like if there was a way that you could get rid of all that stuff and only have this stuff, that would maybe lure me in a little bit more as well. Oh, Dragon Brew. Okay, ships anywhere. So, as always, when I go into this video, I'm thinking 3 things. Convince me. Do I want it? Can you do it? And how much is it? So let's start with the video. Hopefully they can do at least one of those.
My gnome brothers and sisters, I, Berry Loaf, stand before you, a brewer and free gnome. For 200 years, these lands have enjoyed prosperity built upon the backs of our people. And what do we have to show for it? And now, Gloomtail the Eternal has emerged and threatens our peace. Brothers, sisters, we won't leave our fate in the hands of another race. We will take the title of the best brewers in Brumancia.
What?
It is time for the rise of the Gnomes.
Wait, are we brewing beer?
Gnomes is an area control game where you manage your own brewery empire. In order to defeat the gnomes, banish the dragon, and earn the loyalty of new beer customers. Play your actions wisely. Good timing, not luck, determines the outcome of your strategy. Earn points by expanding your empire, recruiting allies, and stopping the gnomes.
So the first thing that I want to mention here is we're at the minute 27 mark, and you are making people sit through 1 whole minute before we even get to the stuff that they probably want to know about, which is the game. Now, a lot of people, I don't have an issue with this. I personally, I see why you did it, and you're trying to get me drenched in the theme, and I love that. But at the same time, if you're not as happy as you might be with the video, I would consider interweaving little bits of this. Because when I see these cards, when I see this board, this gets me, this right here, that board alone gets me excited about this game. So maybe if there's any way to interweave some of that into here, because I know you're showcasing the artwork and the story, and that's great, and it took a complete left turn because there's a freaking dragon, and we're managing breweries, and I don't even know what the hell is going on at the end of this. I want to know more. But at the same time, I'm worried a lot of people might get turned off. But that's okay. So let's keep going. Oh, that's great.
Choose from
wait.
Against the gnome allies and stopping the gnomes. Play against the Gnome Union, an automated adversary with a simple-to-use AI.
That's spectacular. That right there is something that I absolutely want to know as both a solo gamer and a 2-player gamer. You know, if you just routinely get 2 players, I know when me and my wife play, we always like to have that little AI if it's an option. So that's great. But once again, the minute 32 mark, how many people aren't getting there?
Choose from 16 players.
I also like how you kind of showcase the size of the box there. I was just dinging on one yesterday because I had no firm concept of the size of the box. You kind of did that right there. I got the idea of what the box is.
With unique abilities. Select from solo, cooperative, competitive, and cutthroat game modes.
Okay.
And even play at the level of difficulty that's perfect for your gaming group. So, what do you say? Do you have what it takes to defeat the gnomes, banish Gloomtail, and claim your rightful place on the throne as the greatest brewer of Brumancia? Get your copy and find out.
That's a good shot right there. That's a good shot right there. That looks like a lot of game. That looks like a lot of game for a relatively small box, too. So I hope you spotlight that box more as we go down, because I think that's a selling point. People love a lot of game in a little box right there. So I feel like the video was good, but once again, I feel like maybe interweaving a little bit more of that gamery stuff at the beginning. Like, you don't need to tell me it's a challenging tabletop game, you know? Like, it just... I would cater specifically to the hobby crowd, quite honestly, because this doesn't give me the appeal of a mass market game. So just assume that you're talking to somebody who plays a bunch of games. All right, so 15,000, halfway there, 28 days left to go. All right, so as always, do I want it? I feel like that video did a good job of saying, yeah, I do. If you watch that whole video, I think you're like, yeah, that looks like a really interesting game. Looks solid. So can you do it? You always got to check the track record of the company. We got, okay, cool. 3 different collaborators here. Awesome. So hopefully that means we're going to have some pop-in customer service in the updates in the comments. Love seeing that. Love seeing that. I hate when it's just one person. It's like, that's so much to take on. All right, so let's check out Dragon Brew Oktoberfest. So we'll check out the last 2 projects. And what we're doing now is to make sure it's not a flaming dumpster fire in the comments section that the people didn't get their games. 93 comments. This does not look like flaming dumpster fire. Got my game last week. Yeah, so cool. Arrived in Germany. Great. That right there makes me feel confident. Let's just do one more. Always like to do the due diligence. 1,800. That's a bigger number. That's a much bigger number. I'm scared. All right, what do we got? What do we got? This one has become one of my favorite games. We're so happy you enjoyed it. Would love an expansion. Okay, is there ever going to be expansion? Okay, so these are people absolutely loving this game so freaking much they're piling up here. Okay, so now, do I want it? It just got bumped up a little bit. Can you do it? Is a yes. And so now, don't beat around the bush. How much is it? Hopefully we get right down to the price. Get to the nitty gritty. Cool. Box, setup, great. Epic replayability. I got that from the video. 30 player races. This is all great. You got Richard. Excellent. Good. Bam. Price. Core game. $65. Okay. So, I'm not going to lie. That box does not look like a $65 box to me. So, because I'm imagining, I don't think I have a box like that right now. Yeah, kind of like, maybe like this box. Is it that, like that style box? Because if this is the size of the box, this is not a $65 game to me. I mean, that's a really hard sell, I think. Now, if this is like a much larger box, like if this is a pandemic style box or something and I'm just missing it, you know, that's a different story. But I think there's definitely a perceived value there at $65. But let's keep going. So the $65, the core games, cool. Tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. It is 18 inches by 12 inches by 4 inches. Man, big 18 inches. How big is 18 inches? 18 inches. This is like, oh my gosh. Why would you give me numbers? I'm panicking. That sounds much bigger. Okay, so what I would do, big, yes. So that's the first thing, because this box right here, let me know in the comments, that doesn't look like a big box to me. That looks like potentially one of those smaller boxes, and then when I see the setup, I'm like, oh wow, these are all kind of micro-esque, but when you zoom, I don't know. So I maybe do something to give me a bigger impression of that box. Because, yeah, if that's a big box, $65, pfft, whatever. I don't even think twice about that. So $65. Cool. Tons of stuff. Looks like tons of variability. Wow. Great. 3 rule books. Need banana for scale. Yeah, I said need banana for scale. Quite literally, yes, anything. And I say this to every single time when I don't see it. Anything that gives the consumer an actual physical idea in their brain of how large your game is. Like, if you know you're going through a certain company and they also made game X with the same size, well, then you put up, you know, game X next to this one or something like that, and you say, this is going to be the size of the box. Anything like that, because it just, do you like to buy something without knowing how large it is? No. How about a beer? Beer for scale works great too. All right, so this is cool. This is the all-in, the $95, so $117 when it goes to retail. Cool. Did they do it in the top one as well? Yeah, $65. No. Okay, interesting. So this is clearly the one you want everyone going for here. The $95 gives you what? Core game, 10 additional races, desert expansion. So once again, is this all going to fit in the same box? Is this a separate box? Is this like a deluxe box? What is this? I feel like I'm not getting the feeling for the boxes here. Additional player races included in game. 10 new races included in game pledge levels. So this was an add-on, but now it's just in the game. But it's like day 2. Like, was this? How did this come to be about? This area right here feels odd. It doesn't feel like, oh look, they put extra stuff in the game. It just feels like interesting. I don't know, but it's great because that's going to be 10 on top of the 30, so we're getting 40. Is that right? Because if that's right, that's awesome. Or no, core game and 10 additional play races. Okay, it just seemed a bit confusing to me. Okay, so 8 new races and a spot at your table for the 6th favorite friend. So this is an add-on that also comes in here, correct? In the all-in? The desert expansion, additional races. Yeah, this is cool. Okay, so that's clean and clear. 7 player boards, $12 add. Ooh, 7 board overlays. Oh my gosh. Those. Woo! Those are hot. Those are $12 add-on I want. That looks real good. That's nice. Greg loves metal coin. Hey, Greg, check these out. 75 coated zinc alloy metal cones. Those, oof, oh my goodness, popping with these add-ons. Let's work together and lock all the goodies. Stretch goals. So, brewer meeple upgrade. That's a cool one. These are bangers. And what's your blood? You're at 29,000. So that's a $16,000 jump. That's gonna be hard. But those are really cool. Like those meeples. Everybody loves custom meeples. Expansion fits in the box. Oh, these are things people want right from the jump. Like, oh no, yeah. So I see the issue you're running with in here. Okay, yeah, because I feel like this is what everyone wants right there. Like those are the ones that are just like $120. Don't even think about it. This is what I want with all the customs. Or maybe it's $160 and it comes with the metal coins and it comes with this and it comes with that. And you can't do it until you hit the stretch goals. And yeah, that's kind of putting you. And I understand why. I completely understand why you can't take that risk. But oh, it sucks. 10 additional player races, more to come. So these are great stretch goals. So if you can get that snowball rolling, these would be awesome ones to hit. And these are, if this got popular, these could be micro stretch goals. Because think about, like, $10,000 for, like, Stellaris or Elvogale or some of these other games is nothing. So if you could get that ball rolling, like, this could get people really excited. Because these are great stretch goals. All 3 of those are great. Just, bam, the plastic box insert, the meeple upgrade, and the player races. These are great. So hopefully you get to those. Plays Rise of the Tabletopia today. Looking good. Learn to play. Is this a Learn to Play or is this a Kickstarter? Preview. Is it? I don't know what it is. Rise of the Gnome preview. Rise of the Gnome tutorial. There we go. Tutorial playthrough. Cool. So if I really want to get into the weeds on how to do it, it's right there. New player guide. Ooh, competitive and cutthroat rules. Rules reference, additional races, desert expansion. So if I really want to get into this, that's all there. That's great. Yeah, make your own game races, destroy Gary. Create your own custom player races and scenarios. What? You'll be given online access to our guides, templates, and image assets to create your own content for Rise of the Gnomes. Okay, so I think my main takeaway right now is there is so much amazing things going on in this Kickstarter that are legitimately exciting to Kickstarter to users. Like they're fantastic. Like all these things get me excited about a game and make it seem like it's a game that I'm really going to want to immerse myself into. But that first minute of the video, how many people don't get past the first minute of the video? And they're like, I just want to know about the game. And I wonder, I don't know. You know, I wish Kickstarter had a little thing that would tell you exactly when people stopped watching your videos. They have it on YouTube. It's super useful, and it'd be so good on Kickstarter. Pledge Manager Fulfillment, the backer kit, excellent. This is the shipping section. Once again, super low. I hate when people do this. Why do we separate the shipping section from the pledge section? It just drives me nuts. I know everybody does it. I don't get it. Put the prices together. All right. It'd be like if you went to the store and you're like, all right, this is going to be $3.99, and then you go to that checkout counter over there, and then you pay the tax. It would just be, it's so weird. So $17, if I thought this was a small game, would be terrible. $17 for this big game, that seems like reasonable shipping. I mean, that's I got no issues with that. $22, these are solid shipping prices as far as I know that I don't know VAT. That scares me. But yeah, these look like reasonable shipping prices to me. Rest of the world, $60. Great. Everything here looks very, very solid. Greg Taylor, and I can tell, lots of people working on this. It shows. It shows. There's a lot of spectacular going on this Kickstarter page. All right, so what do we got? The Gnome supporter, $1, and Pledge Manager, that's exactly what I wanted to know. Boom, 24 people got it. 1 copy of the game. I imagine this one's going to be not nearly as popular as the other one. 15 backers. Then we got the 82 backers, because, yeah, that's probably what most people are going to want. And then what's this? This is the Benefactor. What is this? This is the big whale? So this is the small whale, that's the big whale. What's the difference? 1 copy of additional player race add-on 6... Wait, when do we start talking about the new stuff? Includes Rise of the Gnomes core game. Rise of the Gnomes core game. 6-player. Oh, this is the overlay add-on, the premium metal coin. So this is for all the add-ons. Okay. Isn't there a way to see how much people have seen on the video nowadays, or only how many saw the whole video, who's so part of it? Any of that information I feel like would be so valuable. But as my good friend Lance always put it, Kickstarter does not give a dang about any of us. Kickstarter does not care about the people on there. Kickstarter is making money hand over fist, and they just want to stay, yeah. I mean, I love Kickstarter, but I definitely, if you have a problem, Kickstarter is not the most timely in a lot of instances. Some instances, it's going to be hit or miss, but I've heard a lot of horror stories from a lot of game creators. All right. Halfway there, so we got the first update. Halfway there, April 1st, 2000. First of all, thanks to all who backed Rise of the Gnomes on day 1. We worked really hard on this game, and the fair was touching. Rise of the Gnomes live playthrough presented by Gloryhound. Awesome. Wednesday at 6 p.m. Q&A with us. We'll be hosting a Discord panel with us to discuss Rise of the Gnome, listen to the story. So here's my one thing. Nobody's commented on it, despite the fact we have, 100-something? 178? Always end with a question. Always have a question somewhere in there. Get people engaged. Get people talking. Read the 3 links down below. They talk all about how you can tickle the Kickstarter algorithms and how you can rise on that popularity chart. Because as I mentioned earlier, you are 43rd right now. And being 43rd, how many people get down to the 43rd? Do you get down to the 43rd game when you're scrolling on Kickstarter? I don't think most people do. So that means you're going to have to find a way to drive that up. And asking a question like, we're trying to figure out which aspects of our Kickstarter page to spotlight a little bit more. Is there a particular section that you thought we did really well or poorly? Just ask people. And they'll be like, oh, I really like how you did this. I think this was be that. And then you got people commenting while at the same time giving you feedback. And boom, it's the best of both worlds. Rise of the Journey. So we got 8 people. So 8 people liked it. 1 person commented because you didn't ask. So maybe those 8 people, maybe 2 or 3 of them start commenting. Then you comment back with them. Then other people say, oh, this is a poppin' little section here because you've got a really cool game here. And it doesn't just feel like a game. It feels like an idea that's just has so much, just overflowing with stuff. And I want to support projects like that. Like, that gets me excited. So, do I want it? Yes. Can you do it? Yes. How much is it? Know the price. And I think it's reasonable. Shipping was decent. So, right now, I'm looking at awarding this a 2. I mean, if it looks like it might be your company, so always have the rating scale. 0 means it's a waste of your time. Keep going. Click on something else. 1 means, snatch up an early bird, back it for $1, come back to the last 48 minutes, do 10 minutes of research on it, something. And 2 means back it for the whale. And honestly, with this one, I would say watch one of those videos, see if it's a game for you, but back it for the whale. Feel comfortable knowing that this is going to be a quality game. Because once again, I go back to that Kickstarter they had 2 games ago, where I thought it might be a flaming dumpster fire because they had so many comments, but that's because there were so many people who were like, where's the expansion? I want more of this game. It's so great. I mean, that's what I want to see. That's where it's like, okay, we're talking about a company who knows what the hell they're doing. That gets me excited. Any thoughts on expansions for 1 player to play as the gnome, so sort of co-op versus player? I swear, that is in every... That person, and not to single out Jerry, but that person is in every single Kickstarter game. It could be like an 8 to 12 player social deduction, and there's always that one person who's like, is there any way we could get a solo variant? Now this one fits more, but it just cracks me up that we're so entitled now, as Kickstarter has given us. We become so entitled that it's like, oh, this game doesn't even have a solo variant. Or it just cracks me up. Nearly halfway and only day 2. Looking forward to this. For anyone who has not played an August game before, they are brilliant. Dragon Brew and Treasure Management are 2 of my all-time favorite. And once again, Super Backer. That right there, that means the world to me. Super Backers mean the world. Thank you. Love Rise. Will Treasure Mountain possibly avail as an add-on? So there's people like, I want your old game too. Take my money, but take more. I want more of your stuff. like, what more could you possibly want in the comment section? This looks like one of those companies that's doing their games right and doing their customer service right and trying to get onto that Jamie Stegmaier sort of path where it's almost like kind of a cult following behind them because they, people are like, I know their games are going to be good to great. And if you can consistently release good to great and primarily very good to very great, I mean, it's just, you're on a gravy train with biscuit wheels on some of these Kickstarters. And I think you have the potential here. Like, if this game is as amazing as it sounds, very cool game. I'm waxing poetic here. That is Rise of the Gnomes, a challenging tabletop game with unique player races, 7 levels of difficulty, 4 different ways to play, tons and tons of cool stuff, but I feel like they don't get to it just quick enough. But there you go. If you enjoy what I'm doing, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. I'm trying to reach 9,000 subscribers, celebrate my 9-year anniversary making YouTube content. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube. Bye-bye.